All right, so basically, I'm gonna teach you guys how to upholster a dining chair. What's a dining chair? Basically, the chairs that you sit in the dining room. Usually they come in 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and on, depending how much money you got. So, basically, you have a piece of wood, right? You're doing it brand new, so from that piece of wood, you put a piece of foam on it. On top of that foam, you put the Dacron. We just glued it together. You cut it about a 1/4 inch over. If you want it to be flat, if you don't want to feel the wood, you will cut it like a little 1/2 inch over. Dacron, same thing. Dacron has to go over it. So now what you do is you gotta do a little stapling. We use the air gun. If you never used the air gun before, please be careful. You don't want to staple your fingers. It happens all the time, even to me, and I have over 20 years of experience. So you just tap it. I'm just tapping it so that it doesn't move from place, so it doesn't shift from side to side. Even though it is glued, it could still shift a little bit, and you don't want that. So you tap it in the middle on all sides. You start at one side, pull on the other side, tap it. Now that all 4 sides is done, you hit the corners. You do one corner, you do the corner opposite to it. Like I said, I'm just tapping it. I'm not really putting the staple all the way in there. It's just to hold it in place. Do the other corner. And do the other corner. All right. So what I say when I said that it may move is when we do this part right here. What I like to do is I like to start on the sides. If you see, this side down here is thinner than the upper side, so you know this is the front. All right. So I like to start on the sides. So we're gonna remove the staples that we just put there to hold it in place. You know, you do that. I mean, it takes a little bit of time to remove them, but it saves you a lot of time in the overall process. Now, what I'm doing is, as I'm pulling on this material right here, I am pushing with this hand to get it nice and even. All right? Once I feel, you can see it like that. Once I feel it's pretty even, right? Once I feel it's pretty even, I staple it. All right? And then you do the same thing, working your way down. Once it's pretty even, boom, in. That's how that would look right there. Flip it to the other side. And do the same thing on the other side. And we're gonna repeat this process on all 4 sides. So we're gonna pull, push it nice and smooth. Your staples here. I always like to do this side first before the back side. I feel like this side is a little more harder to do, so I'd rather do the harder side first and then the easier side. See, it's more uniform. Boom. Then I'll do the back. Once I do the back, I will do the front. And why do I do the back? Because if you do the front first, you may or may not get some weird stretches. If you pull from the, like, all right, if you do the front and then pull it backwards, if you didn't staple the front properly, you're gonna get some pulls, so it's gonna be semi-lumpy in the front. And you don't want the front to be lumpy. If you didn't staple it properly in the back and then pull towards the front, and you get a little bit of lumps in the front and in the back, it's not as a big deal because not such a big deal because people usually don't look in the back, you know. See, that's the back. Even though you're not gonna see any lumps, anyways. Cause like I said, I got years of experience. But I'm just saying, if you're new to this and you're trying to do this, you may get some lumps. Another thing, please, 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 please. I've seen guys that said they got 10, 15 years of experience, and they go around doing people's upholstery with a hand staple. If you ever have a guy come to your house to do anything in your house, upholster it with a hand stapler, he's not a real upholsterer. Please don't let him touch your stuff, because you know what's gonna happen after you're done paying him $300-400. You're gonna call me to fix that problem, and you're gonna end up paying me $800. So instead of just paying me $800 to do it right to begin with, you're paying this guy $300 for nothing, and then paying me $800. So you're wasting money. So please don't do that, please, because that also gives me extra work. Boom. So that's the front. See? And you don't want lumps. You don't want to see lumps. If you look at it sideways like this, see, you don't want to see lumps. Right now you see this right here. It's because that's not done yet. But overall, if you look right here, nice and smooth, baby. And that's how you want it. Now the corners. The corners usually take a little more finesse. Why? Because you may or may not have to pinch it or fold it. What do I mean by that? All right, I grab the corner, I bring it down. Try to bring the corner even. What I mean by that? All right, when you bring down the corner, try to make sure that there's the same amount of material on both sides. Just in case you have to fold it, boom, it's folded and it's nice and even. Same distance from here to here, same distance from here to here. So that when you put the material, it does the same thing. So you have a nice finish at the end. I will slowly push and pull on it so that there is no pinch in the end. But I only do that with this or with stretchy materials. When you guys see me put the material later, you're gonna see that I'm gonna have to do that fold. But just for the Dacron, I will end up with no pinch right here. I will show you that. So you do one corner, and as you see, 2 staples. That's it. One on this side, one on this side. All right. Then you do the other corner the same way. Like I said, when you're pulling down on the material, you will see that it wrinkles up. See how you got this little extra material? Try to make sure that they both even. You could guarantee that by doing this. See how if I pull it this way, you have more material over here than over here. If I go like this, you get more over here than over here. Just as you do that, as you pull it, just try to make sure that's even on both sides. So, once all 4 corners are done, we have to staple the sides first towards the corners. It just so it can look clean, not necessarily because it will come out different or it won't come out right. Just so it can look clean. So we don't want a lot of bulk. So what we do is we cut the extra corner piece that is gonna do nothing. So we basically cut that off, right? So that when we do fold it, there's no lumps there. Because if you were to leave that extra material there, it will be a lump. And you don't want that. Because you don't know how tight the seat has to fit into the chair. There's some chairs that have dining seats that go into a little thin square. Like sometimes you have just enough room for the seat to sink in. And if you have lumps anywhere, it's not gonna fit. So you wanna try to always make sure that there is no lumps. or extra anything. So, all right, so when it comes to the corner, if I was gonna pinch it here, I will fold it nice and do it. But like I said, what I'm doing is I'm pulling this way with it. See? There's no more wrinkle there. So I'm pulling this way with it. That's how I staple it. So I make sure it's nice and smooth. Hold it there. And staple it. See? Nice. Nice and smooth. All right? No pinch, no extra, nothing. Then you do the same thing in the bottom. When you do it with material, depending on the material, it could be either harder or easier. All depends on you. Okay. So, once the sides are done, like I said, you don't want bulk, you don't want extra. Now, I could easily do this side, right? But what happens? I may or may not staple over this. I will have a bulk. So what I do, I get rid of the sides. But only do this when you look at it and make sure that you did it right. Don't cut nothing off unless it's right. Unless you could look at it like this and say, oh, it looks good, it looks nice and smooth. If you see lumps all over this, you have to do it again. You can't have work with a bunch of lumps. So now we do the back. Back, then we do the front. Cut the excess. And that's how you put the Dacron on the dining chair. From here, all we will do is lay the material on top, do the same process that we did with the Dacron on the material, do the sides, front and back, corners, then we staple them, and we'll have a nicely done dining chair. So that will be in the next one.